Today we are going to learn about the devotional paths to the divine. Part 2. New religious developments in India. The period after the 13th century saw a new wave of Bhakti movement in North India. This was an age when Islam, Hinduism, Sufism, various stands of Bhakti and the Nadapanths, Siddhas and Yogis influenced one another. Especially craft persons, peasants, traders and laborers thronged to listen to these new saints and spread their ideas. Some of them, like Kabir and Baba Guru Nanak, rejected orthodox customs and beliefs. Poets like Bhammira Potana, Annamacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Tulsidas and Surdas accepted existing beliefs and practices but wanted to make them accessible to all. Potana, who lived the life of a peasant in the village Bhammira near Warangal, composed the famous Mahabhagavatamu in Telugu. Potana was called a Sahaja Kavi. Tallapaka Annamacharya was a popular saint composer of Andhra Pradesh and is revered as Padakavita Pitamaha. Annamacharya dedicated his life to composing and singing the glories of Lord Venkateshwara of Tirupati. He composed 32,000 kirtanas on Lord Venkateshwara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a Vaishnava saint and social reformer in eastern India. Chaitanya was a notable proponent of the Vaishnava school of Bhakti Yoga, based on the philosophy of the Bhagavata Purana and Bhagavad Gita. Kancharla Gopanna, popularly known as Bhakta Ramadasu, was a 17th century devotee of Sri Rama and a composer of Carnatic music. He is renowned for constructing a famous temple for Sri Rama at Bhadrachalam. He wrote Dasharati Shatakamu, a collection of nearly 108 poems dedicated to Lord Rama. Tulsidas conceived of God in the form of Rama. Tulsidas' composition, the Ramacharita-manas, written in Awadhi. He was a contemporary of Shankaradeva of Assam, who emphasized on devotion to Vishnu and composed poems and plays in Assamese. This tradition also included saints like Dadu Dayal, Ravidas and Mirabai. Mirabai was a Rajput princess. She was devoted to Krishna and composed innumerable bhajans expressing her intense devotion. The most depraved communities and women transmitted these songs, often adding their own experiences. A closer look, Kabir. Kabir, who probably lived in the 15th, 16th centuries, was one of the most influential saints. He was brought up in a family of Muslim Julahas or weavers settled near the city of Benares. We have very little reliable information about his life. Some of these were later collected and preserved in the Guru Granth Sahib, Panchvani and Bijak. Kabir's teachings were based on a complete, indeed vehement rejection of the major religious traditions. Kabir believed in a formless supreme God. Guru Nanak. We know more about Guru Nanak than Kabir. Born at Talwandi in Pakistan, he travelled widely before establishing a center at Kartarpur. The number of Guru Nanak's followers increased through the 16th century under his successors. They belonged to a number of castes, but traders, agriculturists, artisans, and craftsmen predominated. This may have something to do with Guru Nanak's insistence that his followers must be householders and should adopt productive and useful occupations. The ideas of Guru Nanak had a huge impact on his movement from the very beginning. He himself used the terms Naam, Dan and Isnan for the essence of his teaching. His teachings are now remembered as Naam Japna, Kirt Karna and Van Chakna.